Colonel Kira Nerys never needed the center seat of the Deep Space Nine to prove she could command it. Yet, in many ways, she may have spent more time effectively in charge of the station than its most iconic commanding officer, Benjamin Sisko. While Sisko's legacy is defined by his role as emissary, tactician, and moral anchor, Kira's evolution tells a quieter but arguably more enduring story, one of resilience, adaptability, and leadership forged in fire. When Kira first arrived aboard DS9, she was not a Starfleet officer, but a former resistance fighter, deeply shaped by years of occupation under the Cardassians. Her worldview was hardened by war, her instincts sharpened by survival, and her loyalty firmly rooted in Bajor's struggle for freedom. At the time, she and Sisko represented two different philosophies: order versus rebellion, diplomacy versus defiance. But over time, those differences didn't just coexist, they blended. Sisko's duties often took him away from the station, whether dealing with the Dominion, traveling through the Gamma Quadrant, or fulfilling his role as emissary. He was frequently absent during critical moments. During those absences, Kira stepped forward, not just as a deputy, but as a true leader. She made command decisions, negotiated with Bajor's religious and political factions, and maintained stability in a place that was anything but stable. Her authority wasn't always official, but it was undeniable. Kira understood the station's people, the Byron workers, the Starfleet crew, the merchants, the refugees, because she had once been one of them. Where Sisko led with vision, Kira led with presence. Where he commanded through strategy, she commanded through empathy and experience. And when crises struck, it was often Kira who bridged the gap between competing interests, ensuring DS9 didn't collapse under the weight of its own tensions. As the war with the Dominion escalated, Kira's role only grew more critical. She became the moral backbone of DS9, balancing her spiritual connection to Bajor with the brutal realities of war. In Sisko's absence, she was often the one holding the line, organizing defenses, managing alliances, and making decisions that affected not just the station, but the fate of the entire Alpha Quadrant. In a sense, Sisko was the captain the story followed, but Kira was the commander the station relied on. And that distinction matters. Command is not just about rank, it's about consistency, presence, and the willingness to make difficult decisions when no one else will. By those measures, Kira's tenure as the station's guiding force may well exceed Sisko's in both duration and impact. Even after Sisko's eventual departure into the Celestial Temple, Kira remained. She stayed behind to carry the legacy forward, to guide DS9 into a new era, and to ensure that the sacrifices it made during the war were not in vain. In doing so, she didn't just inherit command, she embodied it. Colonel Kira Nerys may never have officially replaced Captain Sisko, but history has a way of revealing truths that rank and title obscure. And perhaps the greatest truth of all is this: DS9 didn't just belong to the captain who founded its legacy. It belonged to the commander who never left its side.